Okay, so I wanted to show you how I made these Caribbean inspired ornaments with DIY paint. So I'm going to start out with mixing my DIY paint, and this is the color Bohemian Blue. And I use like a 4-to-1 ratio. So, and it doesn't take much, and you don't have to measure it exactly. Just kind of eyeball, your 4-to-1 ratio. But I have this little, paper cup here, and I'm actually just filling the bottom of the cup with the paint. And this is Flood Floetrol. It's a paint conditioner, and it just helps the paint flow or move when we start to put it on the ball. So you pour it in, and then you just stir it really well. Now, I had a piece of pantyhose on top of this, so to work as a filter, and so it was pouring out kind of slow. But anyway, so then you just stir it up, and you just stir it until it just gets back to the color that you started with. It doesn't affect the color or the vibrancy of the color. So I did this. So I used Bohemian Blue, I used beadboard, which is our white, and then apothecary, which is a little green. And so I did the same thing for each of those colors, for the beadboard and the apothecary, which again was a 4-to-1 ratio, roughly. So I'll also be using DIY's Golden Ticket, which is a liquid patina. It's already real liquidy, so no Floetrol was added to that. So I start with the beadboard mixture, and that's the color that I just pour on each one to start out. It doesn't really matter which one you start with because I usually go back and forth with the colors. So now I'm starting with the Bohemian Blue, and I'm just going to pour it on top of each one. By the way, those balls in the front right there, those are just 2 that I have already finished, and so don't mind those. So anyway, I'm just pouring the Bohemian Blue all over it, and now I'm taking a straw, and I'm blowing. You don't have to use a straw, but it kind of helps to direct the air, and I'm trying to get the paint to move down, all the way to the bottom of the ball, or actually the top of the ball. So I just do this. It kind of blends the paint as well. DIY paint, it just blends really well. And the colors, these colors, like here is the apothecary. And the apothecary and the Bohemia Blue is just so pretty mixed together. And then mixing with the white as well just gives you different shades of that blue and green. So it's really pretty all together. So again, I'm going to blow some of the paint all the way down the ball. And see how it just kind of mixes up as you blow it. There are no 2 balls that will be alike. And so, you can just keep playing with this and going back and forth with the colors until you just get a design that you like. Now, I did tilt this little pan that they were in. That kind of helped me get the paint moving down there as well. Just kind of pouring it to the side. And you could also use, I now have a like a little air blower that's perfect for this. I didn't have it at the time I created these, but that is also something you could get. But it's a little messy, I'm not gonna lie. And here I'm just going back and forth, so I'm gonna speed this up because again, I'm just adding the different colors, just back and forth, back and forth. And then the final thing is adding the Golden Ticket. So again, the Golden Ticket is very liquidy, and so I'm just using a little plastic, they're called pipettes, because I didn't want to just pour the Golden Ticket out. I wanted it I didn't want a lot of it. I just wanted it to be more like highlights. And so I'm just using the pipette to drizzle it. Just drizzle it on. But of course, you know, you could put as much gold on there as you want. I usually go a little crazy with the gold. So you can always start out with a little bit and add as much as you would like. So I'm just going to drizzle this on to each ball and we'll go from there. So now I just decided to pick up the pan and just swirl the balls around. I mean, of course, this is not necessary, but look how fun it is. I just love watching those colors just move around, and that also helped it move down or up the ball. So I'm just loving how this is turning out. And so then I just leave it to dry. Just let them dry. And then we want to seal them. So you could be done like this and just put a top coat of polyacrylic on them, which I did do for those two that I had already done. I just used DIY's Big Top. But then I wanted to add resin. I wanted them to be really shiny. So I mixed up the resin. Of course, there's a part A and a part B, and you mix it up equally. And you stir it for 3 minutes, and then it's ready to go. And so I'm just using my gloved hand, and I'm just rubbing the resin around the balls. It's going to give a nice glossy glass finish. And of course, you know, you could use any really gloss. You could even spray them with a lacquer. But look how pretty that is. But again, you could, there are lots of products out there that you could use to make them shiny. So I'm just going to cover them all with resin, and then I'm going to leave them to cure. I usually will just let them sit overnight, or you know, 8 to 12 hours is probably good. But I don't ever trust myself, so I just leave them. And then I'll check back the next day. So if you remember, DIY paint dries lighter. Now I know the Floetrol kind of made it not so light, but when you top coat them, it really brings out those colors. Now here's one. The one on the left was done with Big Top, and the one on the right was covered with the resin. So there is a difference. Big Top has a little bit of a sheen to it. It's just not glossy. And you can also cover them with resin after you have used a polyacrylic. So if you top coat them with a polyacrylic and then decide later that you want them shinier or want to resin them, you can do that. So here they are, all nice and shiny. And so I will just let these cure, and I painted the tops with a little gold craft paint. And there you go. I hope this video was helpful, and don't forget to subscribe for more. Okay, see you next time. Bye.